Hey friends, so I want to talk about the topic of keeping score in this week's video. I'm not talking about keeping score in an intense game of tic-tac-toe, obviously. I am talking about keeping score in your relationships with others. Now, I will go ahead and admit that I don't really do this, but I have in the past been in close relationships with people who do. So, I'll start out by saying this. When you're doing something for someone else, perhaps a favor or a kindness, you have to remember that the reward for you is not found in repayment. The reward is found in the gratitude of your own situation, to be fortunate enough to be in the position to help someone else. That does not only apply to material or financial matters, by the way, because truthfully, some of the best and most valuable things that you can give people aren't things they don't have a price tag. It's stuff like encouragement, your support, your time, or your ear when they need someone to listen. In other words, you should be good to people simply because you can be. Be good to people for no reason at all. And you should do it with no strings attached. If you do things for others because you have an agenda or because you expect something in return, then you're doing those things for the wrong reasons. Sorry, not sorry. With that said, some people love to keep score. They are constantly focused on what others are getting that they aren't, or on one-upmanship where they keep track of things for the purpose of making themselves feel superior to someone else for whatever reason they feel they need to do that. Regardless of the reason that people keep score, there is one universal truth about it that is important to remember. It is absolute poison to your relationships with others, whether it be a friendship or anything else. Here's why. First, when people talk about keeping score, even if they don't use those exact words, what do they usually say? It's almost always negative stuff. I took out the trash twice last week because Aunt Mildred forgot, and she was too busy with her knitting, so I had to cook dinner even though it wasn't my turn 4 times in a row. Or, I am the one who always texts Chewy first to make plans. She forgot to call me back twice, and I told her I really needed to borrow her pink sweater, and she forgot to bring it, even though I never forget her. Chewy is my cat, by the way. She didn't call me back either, so don't feel bad. Anyway, so this focus on only negative things is going to bring about resentment. Because, well, negativity usually does. And is resentment a good thing to have in a relationship of any kind? I mean, I'm no expert here, but I'm going to go with no. Resentment tends to build and just fester, doing really nothing positive, until one day, something which is probably unrelated is going to push that resentment button a little too enthusiastically. And now you have a full-blown argument or falling out on your hands. So, yeah, resentment is bad for that reason, but also, it's a miserable way for you to exist too. If resentment was a person and it was the narrator of your inner voice, it would probably sound like SpongeBob or something. Who wants to hear that all day? It's annoying. Anyway, resentment is a huge relationship killer. It's complex, multi-layered emotion that more than just scorekeeping brings about. While we consider it to be on the anger spectrum, it's primarily fed by disappointment due to an unmet expectation. We have talked about expectations many times on this channel, so I won't go into that other than to say that when you notice your expectations aren't being met, that is when scorekeeping generally begins. And before you know it, you and the other person are going to find yourselves on separate sides. It also creates a competition of sorts. It's your turn. Where do you hear that most? When you're playing a game, like a board game. And when you're doing that, you are probably playing to win for yourself, and so is everyone else. You are on opposite sides, after all, right? Is that really where you want to be with your friends or your spouse or partner? In a power struggle? On opposite sides? Shouldn't you want to be on the same side? The same team? working towards the same goals? Of course you should. And in that case, whose turn is it? Who cares, as long as the thing gets done? People who are incapable of deep human connections often see relationships and even friendships as competitions. When you keep score, you set yourself up this way. You see the other person's wins as a loss for you, so you cannot be happy for them. When somebody tells you good news or tells you about a win they had, and all you are focused on is why you didn't get it, or how it's going to affect you, or how dare they have a win when you didn't, etc., and so on, that's not a good look. And let me say this. You should be happy for people when they find some kind of success. You should clap for others when they win. You know why? Because when your turn comes, you'll be the one receiving the applause. If you can't do that, if you can't clap for others when they win, it's never going to be your turn. That's some real talk there. In the 80s classic movie War Games, a computer named Joshua tells a bunch of scientists and military personnel, after nearly causing World War III, that in the game of war, the only winning move is not to play. This is absolutely true with keeping score in your relationships too, because if you think about it, when you keep score in sports, you're always going to have a winner and a loser. But if nobody's keeping score, then there's no loser. You both walk away winners. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe throw away the scoreboard because you don't need it when you truly give and do things from your heart. Scores are for sports and games. Love and friendships have no scores because they have never been games. They are a different G word. Gifts. And just like you wouldn't leave the price tag on a material gift you give someone, you wouldn't leave it on your deeds or your actions or how you feel about them either, right? Pretend you are the best basketball player who has ever lived, but you never pass the ball. You don't want to work with your teammates. You only want to focus on how many points you can score. Will you be winning a championship this way? No. Because it's not about your points, your achievements, or your win. It is the team's win. When you look at your relationships in the same way, you'll see why scorekeeping is just a hindrance to having a true partnership, a real team, one that is going in the same direction together. If you don't have that and are focused on just your personal gains, then maybe you need to revisit your understanding of what the word relationship means. There are two I's in the word relationship. There's only one in the word selfish. One I. That's surely just a coincidence, but it's an interesting one, isn't it? So, if you're a scorekeeper and you want to change that, how do you do it? By cultivating gratitude and focusing on what the opposite of scorekeeping is, appreciation. Instead of just focusing on shortcomings, why not notice the good things that those relationships you have been keeping score in have been giving you? You might realize you've overlooked some things. Give unconditionally, with no strings attached. Be forgiving and patient. And check your priorities. Sometimes keeping score makes us think that something is a big deal when it's actually a minor issue. Someone's terrible cleaning skills or forgetting to answer a text is not a big deal, but their honesty and integrity most definitely is. When you remove the busy work of scorekeeping, it's so much easier to see that. That's all I've got for you this week. I will be back next week with another priority message. Until then, take good care of yourselves. Bye.